Hey, welcome back into Good Day Alabama. But now to this next story. Secret Service agents jumped into action when former President Donald Trump was shot in the ear at a rally in Pennsylvania, showcasing their swift response.
It's obviously something they train for, but putting that training into action is certainly something different. Our next guest knows that very well. Joining us by Zoom this morning is former Secret Service agent Chris Murphy. Colonel Murphy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Janice.
It's good to see you again. I want folks to kind of walk through. I know you don't want to tout yourself, but I want folks to know what you did as a Secret Service agent.
Sure. I was blessed to be on the Secret Service from 1985 to 2006. I was on the Vice Presidential Protective Detail from 1994 to 96. And then from 2002 to 2006, I was a special agent in charge in the Birmingham District Office covering Alabama and Mississippi.
So you've seen so many things. So let's go to that day on Saturday. When you watched, were you watching it at that time or did you see it later? Either way, what was your first reaction of what you saw?
Yeah, I watched it all weekend, as many of Americans did. I was very proud of the Secret Service, the cover and evacuation of the protective detail that was on former President Trump. They did a good job coming through there. They were, you're always a little critical. You try to analyze it too much. But when I was in the service, you always said that if you have to cover and evacuate, that's your last line of defense. And so something has gone wrong if you have to cover and evacuate. So I'm sure the investigation is now looking at what was involved in the advance, what were the post standards assignment log, what was the final survey, who did the walkthrough investigation, what the counter sniper team should have done a separate survey. There's so much work that goes into an event, particularly an outside rally, which is extremely dangerous and difficult to cover. So unfortunately, some things probably went wrong and that we had to cover and evacuate, but I think it was the hand of God that protected former President Trump, and the detail did a good job of responding to him.
And Colonel, how surprised were you that a shooter was able to get that close to Trump with all of your experience?
That concerns me, I have to be honest with you. They say the shooter was outside the perimeter. Well, that tells me that the perimeter should have been expanded. Some things went through the wrong. I've seen the witnesses, and many of you have, of witnesses saying they saw them, they were pointing that out. If they pointed out to local law enforcement, they should have been on their radio immediately. We have a command post run by senior agents that should have picked that up on the communication end of it and focused our counter sniper team to that point. There was nobody else on the roof, so it was pretty obvious. If a citizen is seeing an individual with a weapon on a roof, then you have real problems. But it appeared, and I didn't do the advance, and I'm not doing the investigation, but it appeared that there was too much delay there.
And there's reports that a police officer may have spotted the shooter on the roof. The gunman pointed his rifle at him, then the officer went back down, and then moments later the shooting happened. What's the communication like between the Secret Service, law enforcement, and everything that's involved in a rally like this?
The communication is typically very good. There's a command post where they have a separate channel for the counter sniper team, a separate channel for the post standing agents, a separate channel for the actual detail agents, and a separate channel for the local law enforcement. But you have very senior people in there listening to all those communications, and they should be recorded. So that will be part of the investigation. But it appears to be some breakdown in that communication, that information wasn't relayed quick enough or response wasn't quick enough.
Colonel, I would love to have you back. We're out of time for the moment, but we will certainly have you back and analyze this a little bit closer, but really appreciate your insight this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Janice.
All right, good to see you.
Thank you.